Hey everyone, we have Priscilla on the line. We're going to do an interview, so welcome and thanks for doing this interview.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. So, can you tell me a little bit about your history of with weight or your health, or what was the point where you said, you know what, I need to do something?
Sure. Yeah. For the most part, I used to think I was pretty healthy. Didn't really go to the doctor a whole lot. And even though I was overweight, I knew I was overweight. Um, for some stupid reason, I used to think that I was still pretty healthy. Um, but I think around 2012, I did do like a checkup, did the full blood work and all that. Doctor comes and says, everything came back normal, except there's one thing I can't even remember what it was. So you probably could tell me. It came back elevator, so they wanted to do like an ultrasound because they were concerned that I had a fatty liver. So I didn't know what that meant. Nobody explained to me what that meant, and I basically just ignored whatever he was saying he was concerned about. And so he did ask me about my diet. I thought, well, I think I eat pretty healthy, but back in the day, I was eating Brazilian food. That's where I'm from. So we eat rice and beans every day, but we do have meat on the side and salad. So I thought, well, that can't be as bad as eating McDonald's every day. So I thought I was fine. But apparently, um, as the years went by, I just kept getting worse and worse with the symptoms. I started getting a lot of heartburn, and it got to a point where I was in so much pain in my stomach. I couldn't sleep. I was in so much pain. I went to the doctor, and she said, "Well, okay, I'm going to give you a like an anti-acid reflux medication. You take that. If it doesn't get any better, we'll do an ultrasound." So I said, "Well, okay, I really don't want to do an ultrasound, so I'm going to make sure I take this medication religiously, right, to get better." But it didn't get any better. It just got worse and worse, and the stomach pain, the acid reflux every day. I was popping pills every day like it was candy. Um, didn't really change my diet. Just got worse, actually. Eating a lot of carbs, a lot of fast food, and I was overweight at 190 was my heaviest.
How tall are you?
And I'm sorry,
How tall are you?
I am 5'4",
Okay.
5'4". So I knew I needed to lose weight. I wanted to lose weight because I didn't like what I was seeing in the mirror. But at the same time, I didn't have that strength probably because I didn't understand what I was doing to myself, what I was eating was causing. So um, eventually I got to a point where I said, okay, I need to lose the weight. I'll start a diet. And I started the only way I knew how to, which was the eating every 2 to 3 hours, the snacking in between. You got to keep your metabolism working. So I was doing that, and I was frustrated because I only lost about 9 pounds, and then I was completely stuck. And I remember my mom was actually the one that's like my biggest motivation because she is diabetic, and she doing all the researches, she found your videos. So she sends me that one day, and I'm like trying to understand what's going on with her and trying to help her out. But then you kept saying something about this keto diet, and I was wondering what in the world is this keto diet. So that's when I started researching more and more, and I just basically became pretty much addicted to your videos and started digesting all that. And I just put in practice everything that you were teaching. What you said not to eat, I cut out. What you said to eat, I started eating
Wow.
basically, and um, just included exercise in there. And that's when I really started losing the weight.
Wow. I wish most
Yeah.
most of my patients would do that. That so you you started adding all these things together. Did you jump right into intermittent fasting at first, or you just basically just kind of changed over on the keto?
Yeah, so when I found the video where you said you were explaining do to start out with the intermittent fasting, do the 3 days, the first 3 days, do 3 meals with no snacking in between, and then work up to 1 meal a day. So I did that cycle for maybe a couple times. And then eventually I just got to the point where I only eat twice, 3 times the most. But for like every single weekend, I only eat once a day.
Wow.
So that's where I am now.
Wow, that's amazing. So you went from 190, what is your weight now?
I'm 150 now.
Wow,
So
that's
I still want
amazing.
to lose another 20, but 40 pounds is
It's not
it's
bad.
pretty, yeah.
So you were kind of in this state where I guess your awareness, you just really probably weren't paying attention or noticing. You're just kind of going along and I'm healthy, I'm
Yeah.
fine. And then something happened that woke you up and like, okay, this is
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't just, I think for me, it was more seeing how my mom was struggling with her health. She's had cancer twice, chemotherapy damaged her heart. She had a heart attack. So it was hard for me to go through that and see her go through that. And so I figured, well, I don't want to be sick like that because I don't think I can handle going through all that.
right.
And so I had a lot of symptoms like dizzy. I was dizzy. I was shaking a lot. All of the symptoms that go with hypoglycemia. So
Wow. And
yeah.
so can you give me an example of like what your meal looks like?
Yeah, so when I do have breakfast, I usually like to have a couple boiled eggs. Sometimes, depending on how hungry I am, I'll add bacon, the hormone-free bacon. And then for lunch, I like to have a big salad. And then I add the protein with that and like having the grass-fed beef, some sort of grass-fed protein. And a little bit of fat I add in that. Yeah, I used to add a lot more in the beginning. I don't as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But some sort of cheese, avocado, something like that. So a healthy fat. So I combine those three together. And for the main, my main meal, it's a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, a lot of salads. So that's what I usually eat.
That's awesome. And then do you find that your cravings have gone down and your hunger's gone down now?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I don't know, I was addicted to sugar. And especially if I was stressed out, the more stressed I was, the more sugar I ate. It was really bad. I mean, as bad as I would go to the store, get me five like Mexican sweetbreads or muffins and stuff like that. I would eat all five that day. It was bad.
That is pretty bad. That is really bad.
Yeah.
Um, so now you just you can control it. Now, what about your mom? Is she doing some of these things too?
Yeah. So I explained to her, the more I learned and the more I was able to tell her, you need to cut the carbs. You need to got her on the wheatgrass. We supplement with the wheatgrass, the electrolytes, the D3, K2 as well. And her A1C started going down slowly, but it's going down. So yes, we definitely saw improvement in her health as well. She wants to be completely off um, diabetic medication. She's off the insulin, but we really want to get her off the metformin. So we definitely see progress there as
Great,
well.
awesome. And then, were you raised in Brazil?
I lived there up until I was 11 years old and then moved here.
What kind of foods do they consume in Brazil?
Uh, for the most part, rice and beans, a lot of starchy foods, carbs, pasta,
Wow.
just fast food in general, a lot of it. But um,
Is there a weight problem there as well?
I I think so. Um, but I haven't been there in so long. I think I've been here more than half of my life, but yeah, I do see a lot of people nowadays talking about how they want to lose weight and all that.
Because I think also they recently decided to kind of kick out the whole GMO food. So I know they had the GMO food. I don't know if they still
Yeah.
do, but and the other thing too is I heard this. I don't know if this is a rumor, but in Brazil, like all the mothers breastfeed for a long time, right? Is that true?
I don't
You
know
probably haven't keep track.
how far back that goes because yeah, like I said, I haven't been there for a while. I mean, nowadays, mom, pretty much same as here, they work and, you know, stuff like that.
Someone told me that, and I thought that was like probably very important as this child starts developing their immune system. And
Right.
because in America, it's like no one does it. It's like okay, formula, and then you get the GMO sugar
Right.
water, and then boom, it's over.
I wish I would have known that when I had my child, that's for sure.
I
But
know, I know. And then the other question I have is your exercise. What kind of exercise are you doing right now?
I like to combine cardio with some weightlifting, not too heavy. I found a free program on YouTube as well, and they do like a 30-day program from beginner to all the way to like when you're lifting really heavy weights, like bodybuilding. And I'm still in the beginner phase of it, but I always like running. A lot of people don't, but I love the treadmill. And it just makes me feel really good when I run, especially when I'm fasting and I run while I'm fasting. For some reason, it's like a boost of energy for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you're also going to tap out you're going to actually get more into a fat burning phase because you're going to tap out your glycogen reserve and just run on
Right.
fat, which is a cleaner, efficient fuel. So it's almost like you have endorphins and like if you're listening to music, it just feels really good.
Right.
What about like, did you notice ever like a situation where you stopped losing weight but you started shrinking in size? Was that ever a situation?
Yes. And I'm not sure if that has to do with the muscle way or um, since I started the keto diet, my cycle has been changing quite a bit. And so I don't know if it had something to do with that, but I was losing a lot of my waist, but the scale was still the same, maybe 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. That happens because you're preserving proteins. You're getting more muscle mass and density, but you're losing fat, which is a little lighter. So that's a normal thing. So as long as you're shrinking, that's really the main point. And then you're doing the days that you do one meal a day. So what time of the day would you consume that meal?
Um, I'll fast until probably 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Wow, good. And then are you hungry at that point, or could you keep going?
That's usually about when I start getting hungry.
Okay. And then do you have a hard time like eating a lot of food now, or can you get by on a little less food?
Oh, I definitely eat a lot less. Yeah.
It's
Even when
weird.
I'm hungry, I 2 eggs for me in the morning sometimes is still a lot. So I definitely don't eat as much as I used to.
You're basically adapting all these cells to be more efficient. So the amount of food you need is definitely not the same as doing the whole carb thing.
Right.
And then how about your sleep? Do you need as much sleep?
Well, I try to sleep at least 8 hours a night.
Okay.
Um, I don't have a problem with sleeping. Honestly, I used to have a hard time sleeping, but now I sleep like a baby. So
Great. And then what about your digestion? Do you have any digestive issues anymore?
no, all of my stomach problems went away, completely away.
Wow.
I haven't touched any medications and since I started. So it's been about 6 months.
Amazing. And then I was going to ask you one more question about, do you ever cheat? Or can you maintain the discipline?
No, there's no cheating for me. No, I get a lot of people ask me, so when do you take a break? Like sometimes I went on vacation and there was no cheating. I cooked at home, either cooked where we were staying, or if I went out for a salad, I took my own salad dressing and stuff like that.
Wow.
And it's just because people don't seem to understand what ketosis will do to your body. Once you taste that, you don't want to go back.
Right.
So I don't need to cheat. No.
Totally.
No
I mean, yeah, you already know what you're going to feel like. And then does anyone like looking at you going, wow, you're looking great. What are you doing? Do you get a lot of people like curious what you're doing and that want to do the same thing, or what?
Yeah. Yeah, some people that don't see me for a while. I just had the other day a lady see me and she was like, "You're looking thinner. What are you doing?" And that's when I tell them, "Well, it's the keto diet." And I basically just say, "Go look Dr. Berg up because he's awesome. He's helped me and he can help you too." But yeah, I do get people ask me.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for this interview. Maybe what we'll do is when you hit that additional 20 pounds, and then we'll do another one, and then we'll do some
Oh,
before and after.
yep, that would be fun.
Awesome. All right.
Thank
Well,
you so much.
you're welcome. My pleasure. Have a great
And
afternoon.
thank you for all the material you have available for us. It really changed my life and my future, basically, because who knows where I would have been. So thank you
Awesome.
for that.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a
Okay.
great day.
Have a good one.